Was Kendo Nagasaki the most committed character in wrestling history? Or was he simply British wrestling's biggest egomaniac? Because even now, more than 60 years after his debut, people still can't quite agree on the answer to that question. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Faulkner, the wrestling comedian. Make sure you like the video and drop me a follow. This is the story of Kendo Nagasaki. Born Peter Thornley in Shropshire in 1941, Kendo Nagasaki made his professional wrestling debut in 1964, and from the very beginning, he understood something that many wrestlers never do. Wrestling isn't just about moves, it's about mystery. While most wrestlers were happy to be known as ordinary blokes who wrestled on weekends, Thornley created an entirely different world around himself. Kendo Nagasaki wasn't presented as a man, he was presented as an enigma. A silent samurai warrior with mystical powers, hypnosis abilities, and a mysterious past. And the remarkable thing is that millions of people bought into it. By the 1970s, Kendo had become one of the biggest stars in British wrestling. Not because he talked, in fact, he never spoke publicly in character, and not because he looked like a bodybuilder, and also not because he wrestled flashy matches. He became a star because nobody knew who he really was. That mask became one of the most recognisable images on British television. His feuds with Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, and many of the biggest names in the country turned him into a genuine household name. At a time when wrestling regularly attracted millions of viewers on ITV, Kendo was one of the few wrestlers who felt larger than life. Then came the moment everybody remembers. December 1977, Wolverhampton Civic Hall. After years of speculation, Kendo Nagasaki agreed to remove his mask in a special ceremony broadcast on television. Around 14 million people reportedly watched. Think about that for a second. 14 million people tuning in to see a wrestler take his mask off. That just tells you how famous he was. But here's where the debate begins, because for some people, Peter Thornley took the gimmick too far. He spoke of spiritual powers, healing, hypnosis, mysticism. He rarely broke character and guarded the Kendo identity with an obsession that lasted decades. For others, that's exactly what made him brilliant. Long before kayfabe became a wrestling buzzword, Kendo understood that protecting the illusion was what made the character special. The fact we're still talking about him proves it worked. After retiring again, and then returning yet again, Kendo somehow managed to keep the legend alive for decades, and then came perhaps the most unbelievable chapter of all. In 2024, at the age of 83, Kendo returned to the ring and set a Guinness World Record as the oldest masked professional wrestler to compete in a match. Then, in 2025, he wrestled again at 84 years old and extended that record even further. Think about that. Most wrestlers struggle to walk by that age. Kendo was still making headlines. So, was Kendo Nagasaki a genius, or was Peter Thornley completely in love with his own mythology? Honestly, I think the answer is both, because without the obsession, without the secrecy, without the commitment to the character, Kendo Nagasaki would never have become one of the most famous wrestlers Britain has ever produced. Love him or hate him, there has only ever been one Kendo Nagasaki, and I suspect there will never be another. Let me know in the comments, was Kendo Nagasaki British wrestling's greatest character? And if you want more wrestling stories, opinions, and laughs, you know what to do, and remember, I'll see you on the next one.